Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the EOcafe. Great to see you all here. It's our first anniversary. I don't know if you've seen the publicity, but it's 1 year ago that we kicked off EOcafe when the lockdown started, and we thought that we would try to offer something to keep people in touch. So, along with my cup of coffee, I have my birthday cake today, which I should be trying to eat in the margins.
That's so nice.
One candle.
How old are you, Jeff? Are you 35, 36, or what?
No, that's not me.
Congratulations.
So, 21 EOcafes. This is the 21st, 47 guest speakers, and nearly 3,000 registrants. So I think we're very happy with the way EOcafes turned out, and let's hope we can. We'll be celebrating again in another year's time.
Happy birthday!
Thank you, Tita. So today, well, firstly, just a reminder of the rules. I think everyone knows. Please keep your microphones off until you're asked to speak. If anyone's asking questions, I'll ask you to speak. You can leave your camera on. We encourage leaving cameras on because it allows everyone to see each other. It's a friendlier atmosphere, but if you want to hide what you're doing, that's fine as well. The webinar will be recorded, so you'll get a link afterwards where you can go back and look at it again or share it with friends if tell them how great it was. When we come to the questions, then please just put them into the chat, and I will ask you to speak, to join the conversation, ask your question, but please put the questions into the chat so I can know to call you. And I think that's about it, isn't it, for the rules? So let's get on with it. We're coming back to the subject of artificial intelligence today. We had a look at that. Let me just blow out my candle. We had a look at artificial intelligence a few weeks ago, 4th of February, EOcafe, where we had speakers from the ESA project AI for EO. Doing a little bit of casting around before today, I found there's another AI for EO project in Germany, and I believe there's a European Commission project called AI for EO. So there's quite an interest. Today we're going to hear about AI for Copernicus. It's another project just launched, Commission project, Horizon project, which is led by Democritus. It's not the only AI for EO either. Excuse me, AI for Copernicus either. We were contacted over the title of this EOcafe. Could we change it? Because there's an organization in Belgium that organizes, it's the Copernicus Relay for Wallonia and Luxembourg that they organized a meeting, AI for Copernicus, in 2019, and they plan to do another one. And indeed, when I did a quick Google search on AI for Copernicus, I found that the Relay event came up first. The Cordis reference to this project came up second, and our EOcafe came up third. So that was quite pleasing. And then on top of that, there's AI for EU. So at the EU level, a much broader level project, which is led by Thales. And there are some links between that and the AI for Copernicus that we'll hear about today. And then finally, there's an AI for Geo, which is led by Airbus and CLS and CNES. So there's quite a lot of AI for EO linked projects around. It shows the interest. I'm sure there are others at national level. So there's a lot of interest in the subject. It's quite confusing. So let's try and shed some light on what's going on and talk about the AI for Copernicus initiative today. So today I'm joined by Vangelis Karkaletis, who is the director at Democritus, and Xenia Zuvalu, who is leading the Open Calls an AI for Copernicus. So I'll let them introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about AI for Copernicus. Evangelos, please.
Happy birthday, Jeff.
Not me, EOcafe.
Yeah, the EOcafe. Okay. And thank you very much for this invitation to participate in the Earth Observation Cafes. Yeah, as you said, there are many initiatives and there are many others also. There are the digital transformation space projects, many projects around Earth observation, AI, and big data, and many others, and nationals, as you said. But we are here today for AI for Copernicus. I'm Vangelis Karkaletsis. I'm the director of the Institute of Informatics and Telecommunications at Demokritos. Demokritos is the biggest public research center in Greece. And I'm also the coordinator of the AI for Copernicus project, together with my colleague, Xenia. Xenia, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, hello, happy birthday, EOcafe. All the best wishes. It's a true pleasure to be with all of you today, this special day for EOcafe. I'm Xenia Zouvelou and I'm working at a National Research Center of Demokritos, National Center for Scientific Research at Demokritos at the Institute of Informatics and Telecommunications, part of the AI4Copernicus project, along with Mr. Karkaletsis. So look forward to discuss further on that. Do you want me to?
Yeah. Jeff will start with some slides introducing AI for Copernicus.
That's fine.
Xenia, if you please share your screen, yeah.
Yeah, we see the slides. That's good.
Okay. Now, AI for Copernicus is a horizon project which belongs in the family of the AI for EU project that mentioned by Jeff before. AI for EU is the European AI on demand platform project that is running now. It is in its third year. And what is AI for EU? AI for EU is a project involving many partners from research and industry, and wants to deliver research and innovation in artificial intelligence, and also provide awareness activities with respect to artificial intelligence. The deliverable of AI for EU will be a catalog of AI resources and tools, an experimentation platform, a content management system for AI-related events and initiatives, and also open calls. And Earth observation in AI for EU is one of the industrial verticals. That's why some of AI for EU partners, which some of them are seen here, some of AI for EU partners. So Demokritos, together with Thales, which is the coordinator of AI for EU, with Thales Alenia Space, with the University of Athens and Blue Site Conseil, these are partners also in the AI for EU project, thought that it would be good to form a consortium in order to bridge the AI for EU platform with DIAS platforms in the Earth observation community to enable artificial intelligence and Earth observation innovation. Xenia, if you can go back to the previous slide, and okay. We brought together additional partners, either partners for specific domains, such as ECMWF with respect to environment, SATSEN in security, Equinor in energy, Trento University in food and agriculture, as well as organizations with expertise in innovation, such as INSEAD, the business school, and blue side Conseil, who is also responsible for the exploitation activities in the AI4EU project. And all these partners formed together the AI4Copernicus project. Xenia, next slide. Which, as I said, aims to bring together these two worlds. On the one hand, the AI4EU platform, and on the other hand, the DIAS platforms. In order to make the AI on-demand platform, AI4EU, the platform of choice for the users of Copernicus data. So I suppose most of you are aware of the DIAS platforms. 3 of the DIAS platforms will be involved in the AI4Copernicus project: Creo DIAS, Wakeo, and Mundi. But I think it will be good to say a few things about the AI ecosystem, the AI4EU ecosystem. The AI4EU ecosystem involves, apart from the AI4EU project, which is currently running, a family of research projects, which you can see on the left. These are projects that populate the AI4EU catalog and services with additional tools and services. And on the other hand, a family of innovation projects, one of which is AI4Copernicus, which aim to exploit the AI4EU platform and also expand AI4EU platform with additional services and additional communities mainly through open calls in specific domains or in specific technologies. So AI4Copernicus addresses the Earth observation community. AI4Energy, which is another project in this family, addresses the energy community. And all these innovation projects are addressing SMEs, small and medium enterprises, through open calls. Now, with respect for AI4Copernicus, next slide, please, Xenia. More specifically, our objectives in this context, I remind to you, bridging AI4EU platform with DIAS platforms. We aim to expand and deepen the integration of AI4EU with DIAS platforms, because this is a work that we have already started inside AI4EU, started some integration work in AI4EU with one of the DIAS platforms, Wakeo, to, as I said before, to create an AI Earth observation innovation cycle through open calls, and Xenia is going to say more about the open calls later, and also contribute to the evolution of the DIAS platforms through this integration work with AI4EU. And as you can see, this is graphically presented also in the next slide, Xenia.
Yes.
Yeah, where you can see, as I said before, on the one hand, we have the AI4EU platform, and just keep in mind that AI4EU delivers a catalog of AI resources, tools, services, and also an experimentation service, a service that enables you to create workflows of tools and services in order to create a system. And on the other hand, we have the DIAS platforms, 3 platforms: Creo, DIAS, Wakeo, and Mundi. And in the middle there is the AI4Copernicus, which integrates these 2 platforms and also providing also additional tools and services, and providing also networking activities. I have to say, before giving the floor to Xenia, that these 3 DIAS platforms are also represented in the AI4Copernicus consortium: Creo DIAS through Cloudfero, Wakeo through Thales Alenia Space, and Mundi, since we have again through some of the partners participating in the project. So now I'm giving the floor to Xenia to continue stressing the open calls in AI4Copernicus.
Thank you. So following this discussion, let's see now how formally AI4Copernicus is trying to bridge the gap between AI and data-driven innovation by creating an innovation cycle, we can say, that is open and inclusive and sustainable, trying to actually co-create value between diverse user groups and communities, between AI tools and services and Earth observation data, trying to provide diverse benefits, both economic, social, and environmental. So someone would say that AI4Copernicus is actually trying to bridge more than one gap. In addition to this, bringing together the diverse communities, what we are trying to do is actually try to bridge the so-called valley of death, where academia and research resources never find themselves to the market. So in that sense, AI4Copernicus can be seen as a sort of bridging this valley of death by bringing together discovery and product development, by facilitating research and nurturing, if you want, research that comes from research and academia into the industrial marketplaces. So how this is done? Formally, this is done by creating an innovation cycle, as we say. So what we try to do is we try to integrate different AI technologies and tools and services from the AI4U ecosystem, the AI4Copernicus ecosystem, together with Earth observation data, DSS tools and services, resources from there, and of course, market-driven challenges and citizen-driven social challenges. So here you can see that we try to bring together both top-down and bottom-up challenges and focusing on the market, but also on the social parameters, environmental parameters as well. What we offer as a project is actually funds, of course, more than almost 2 million euros will be awarded to successful projects. But in addition to that, we also provide a lot of support, both at the technical level, but also at the business and sustainability level. We provide, of course, tools, resources to all the different projects, and a series of assessments, both technical, business, sustainability ones, as well as ethical assessments, because ethical AI assessment is a critical component of the AI4Copernicus project, in addition to others. So here, after this assessment process and support process lasts almost 16 months, we award a sort of trust mark, the AI4Copernicus trust mark, to standardize, to certify that all these new AI and Earth observation services tool are trusted solutions, are ethical by design. And of course, they may provide new markets, new innovation ecosystems by bringing together different communities and different actors, not only thematic ones, but also at the industrial level, as well as technology advanced and low-tech companies. In addition to that, we aim to provide a set of policy recommendations in order to ensure sustainability of this. So all this knowledge and information that we will acquire via this process, we aim to provide it, and we aim to provide policy recommendations that will be top-down and bottom-up, that is both from the consortium as well as from the participating companies in this process, in order to support further sustainability of the ecosystem in general. So if we see the details of the AI4Copernicus open calls, you will see that we have overall 4 different rounds of open calls that are both domain specific and domain agnostic. They are quite diverse, as well as top-down and bottom-up, that is driven by the market or driven by citizens, the crowd. So we have the first open call for use cases in 4 specific industrial domains, followed by an open call for social challenges driven by citizens. So here we try to co-create value with citizens, which will be later addressed by companies. Our third open call focuses on experiments, and here we target more technology advanced companies, SMEs, in any industrial domains. And then the last one is actually trying to address the citizen-driven social challenges and what our citizens defined. Overall, we can say that we have 4 distinct phases of the open calls, like the open call phase, and then the selection phase and grant agreement. And then the most important phase is the support and sustainability phase. So here we aim to provide all this support for the different projects. In the first round of open call, just to give you a flavor of the micro details, the 4 industrial that focus on 4 industrial domains: energy, health, security, and agriculture. As you can see, there are it covers a period of 22 months, with 1 month for the grant agreement, and it aims in targets projects that are consortia projects with at least 1 low technology SME in any of these 4 industrial domains. That will result in 6 AI and Earth observation solutions that will subsequently be published at the AI4EU platform with the AI4Copernicus trust mark, as we said before. So we really look forward to seeing you all there. I know some of you have already sent us an email, and we look forward to hearing more from you, your questions, and receiving your questions in relation to the open calls or the AI4Copernicus project. So I stopped sharing my screen now.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I think there's a lot of questions that come out of that. I mean, perhaps I can.
Thank you. I don't know if there are any questions.
Perhaps I can stay with the project for the moment, and we can talk about some of the other things later. So, I mean, clearly there's an opportunity here for companies to respond to the open call, to get some funding. What are you expecting the companies to, or the bidders, what are you expecting them to provide? It's you talked about a catalogue of services on AI for EU. So you're looking for the responders to produce a package of software that then will run on the AI for EU platform. Is that basically, or have I misunderstood?
Yeah,
I probably misunderstood.
Yeah, yeah, it's basically that. Yeah, just to clarify. So we provide tools, resources that are found in AI4EU platform, in the catalog, and also in the experimentation service. But this is not all, because these are tools and resources that not directly related to Earth observation community. So additional tools will be provided by the AI4Copernicus partners, either domain-specific tools for the 4 domains mentioned by Xenia. I remind these are energy, security, food and agriculture, and environment. Okay, and all these, what we are currently designing preparing is not running this over the AI4EU platform, because we need. Can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah.
Not running. What we will provide to the applicants with all these.
Sie haben mich schon zum 3. Mal angerufen. Ich bin eigentlich nicht interessiert.
We will provide the applicants of the open calls with all these tools, resources, along with the data sets and services provided by the DIAS platforms involved in AI4Copernicus, starting with Creo DIAS and Cloudfero. So what we are planning is we will create an instance. We will not only provide cloud infrastructure for these applicants, for the successful applicants for these projects, but we will also create instances from AI4EU inside the DIAS platform. So in order to enable the successful projects to exploit what is offered in AI4EU, what is offered by AI4Copernicus, but what is also offered by a DIAS platform. I mean, access to data sets, cloud services, and other additional services depending on the specific DIAs. Okay.
So, yeah. Okay. So the what I was trying to understand, the bidders are going to be from a technical background, or they come with an idea and you will implement the idea that they come with.
Okay. So as Xenia said, we have two types of projects. We have the so-called, we call them use case projects, which involve two or more partners, where at least one of them is not necessary, we call it low technology partner. So it's not necessarily an AI, a partner with an artificial intelligence expertise. Okay. But we need to have a partner with an artificial intelligence expertise in order to run the project. Okay. And so in the first call, we expect applications for use cases. These are the larger projects. Okay. And we expect them to present in the application their idea and how they plan to exploit the services we provide to them. AI4EU, AI4Copernicus, and DIAs in order to create a system, an application for either energy, food, agro, environment, security. Okay, and we have set some criteria in order to evaluate the applications, and there is an evaluation committee and an expert advisory board that will monitor the process, that will enable us to select the first 6 projects from the open calls. Okay, is this clear, Jeff?
Yeah, I think so. If it's not clear, people will ask questions, I guess. So that's fine. You've talked a lot about AI for EU. It's a wider project that's run by Thales. You've talked about the tools that will be available. What's the status of AI for EU? Does it run throughout the full period of AI for Copernicus? Are there other issues in terms of timing? And in the end, I also want to go on maybe to talk about sustainability of these initiatives.
Okay, so AI for EU is currently in its 3rd year. Okay, so at the end of this year, AI for EU is finishing, is completing, but the strategy of the European Commission is through the family of projects around AI for EU, like AI for Copernicus and the other projects I mentioned in that slide, to continue extending and expanding AI for EU platform for different domains and different communities. Currently, we are in discussions in AI for EU about setting up a foundation that will be responsible for the running of AI for EU services after the end of AI for EU. But we haven't finalized this yet. Okay. So currently, the platform is there. Actually, we are going to announce at the end of April a new site, provide easier access to the catalog and the experimentation service. So those that are interested, they can exploit the catalog and also the experimentation service as it is currently.
Is that a new site for AI for Copernicus? Because there's a question relating to that in the questions at the moment.
Our website is this one that you can see there in the chat. Okay. AI for Copernicus project. Okay, which is different from the AI for EU project, but this is something that we are and a lot of effort is going into that in AI for EU. With respect to the coordination of the family of projects around AI for EU. Also to coordinate the enrichment of AI for EU platform with additional resources and tools in order to be easier for the SMEs to access the various tools and services in the AI for EU and the family of projects around the AI for EU.
Okay, we've got quite a few questions coming in. First one I see is from Alberto Manela. Alberto, do you want to come in, or I can ask the question as you prefer?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Yes, my question, first of all, I am Alberto Menella, and I'm the innovation manager of TopView, just to introduce myself. Actually, we are working with very interesting application in drones domain, supported also by Earth observation dataset. And my question is about if you have in your tools some tools to provide, we're looking for a heat map of related to the density of the population. So if we can have a dynamic density of population, we can implement one of our applications that we are working on. And unfortunately, this data cannot be provided directly by telecom operators. And we were wondering if there's some Earth observation tool that can have this sort of information, even if it's not strict in real time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alberto, for the question. As far as I know, and for the time being, we do not have such a tools. Okay, but this is the purpose in AI for Copernicus. So we start with the tools provided in AI for EU and the tools provided by the partners in the AI for Copernicus consortium, and we enrich them either from the applicants through the open calls or from other initiatives. That's why we work together with the sister projects, the family of projects around AI for EU. So, for instance, there is one of the sister projects is iEnergy, which has to do with energy, and energy is also a domain in AI for Copernicus. So what we will do, we will exploit some of their tools, resources, and data sets, and they can do the same also. So our arsenal of tools, resources, data sets will be enriched. So what you said is really very interesting. So if we can find by some other, not a partner in the project, but also some other entity, such tools, we can try to include this in the platform. Okay, or even better, have maybe receive an application also for an open call project in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that leads nicely into the next question from Daniel Skaya. I put a rod for my own back here, don't I, by reading out all the questions. So, which is about specifically a challenge linked to security. Danielle?
I see the question. I can.
Yeah, to be honest, I already tried to provide a small answer in the chat.
Yeah, I see it. Thank you very much. Apologies, it was a bit loud. I needed to connect. Yeah, okay, that's great that that's included. Thanks for the input. And the other question was about the co-financing rate. Are we talking here about 100% or less?
It is 100% for this first round of open calls. This will be consortia projects, so 2 or more partners that by default, as it was mentioned before, they need to have a low technology partner. They will receive 150,000 per project.
Okay.
So it's 100% funding, including all the support in addition to the support and resources and tools and services that will be provided in addition.
Up to 150,000.
Yes, up to, yes.
How do you qualify a low technology partner?
Low technology with respect to artificial intelligence. So this can be an SME that has nothing to do with artificial intelligence. Maybe they do not have an expertise on artificial intelligence inside the SME. But we need an additional partner that has some expertise on artificial intelligence, because it will be easier then to run the project.
So there will need to be an artificial intelligence partner.
Some expertise.
In the team,
yeah.
But one of the partners should have no experience.
Exactly.
Okay. I can see some problems in evaluating that, but good luck.
There will be problems.
I hope you can define the criteria quite clearly. Victoria Jadot asked about the website, but I think you've answered that one. Next is about
now about security. Xenia, have you answered to Daniel?
Yes.
Okay.
So as I wrote, resilience is part of the security. So feel free to consider this, and feel free to send us emails if you want in relation to that, if you want additional information. May I place the spotlight on Emmanuel Mondon, if I pronounced it correctly, because he has a great idea, to be honest. So he says that it would be great to create synergies between attendees of EOcafe. So why not consider this as an opportunity for co-creation in the context of EOcafe? That would be really great.
Jeff,
Emmanuel,
I hope it has been recorded.
It is. It's all being
Finally,
recorded.
I have a good idea. Thanks a lot.
It had to happen sometime, but I was.
Wow. I owe you a beer, Xenia, in Munich, as soon as possible.
I was going to call you in, Emmanuel, because you've got one of your typically ambiguous questions about what are you planning for your network activities. Do you want to explain a little bit more what you have in mind there?
Yeah, sure. Happy. It was not at all ambiguous. It was super clear if you are reading my previous chat. So as you can hear, I'm French, but I'm living in Munich, and I'm one of the co-founder of a very strange animal named Space Cooperative Europe, SCE, the first European cooperative company. By the way, anyone willing to join, feel free. We submitted last year to ESA through a call which is named OSIP, Knowledge Management, 6 ideas, one of them being what I mentioned around big data and AI for Earth observation community. Why? Because as Jeff mentioned at the beginning, you have plenty of projects, initiatives related to AI across Europe, regional, national, European. It's extremely difficult to understand who is doing what. And thanks to ERSC and EOcafe to contribute to clarify this. And the idea was to set up what I'm calling a community platform as a service in order to gather whomever is interested in this topic, big data, AI related to Earth observation. So we are able, the cooperative is able to offer this service. And basically it's up to all of us to say yes or no. So we submitted the idea to ESA, it's still under evaluation, but do we really need ESA? Not sure. If each and everyone attending this call, 100 guys, is putting, I don't know, 1,000 euro, maybe you can develop altogether this community platform as a service dedicated to this domain. The key point here, and I'm stopping there, Jeff, is interoperability. What we are offering is based on W3C solid open specification. It means that you are able to share whatever you like with whomever you like, still keeping track and control on what you're sharing. End of the advertisement page. Thanks for the opportunity. And Xenia, I owe you a beer.
Thanks, Emmanuel. You touched on the funding side and the different sources. Evangelos, you talked in AI for EU. You highlighted that there is this sort of gap, and that we're searching for a way to set up a platform or a structure, or to ensure that there's some sustainability, some continuity in these efforts? Otherwise, we have all these fragmented efforts that in the end don't go anywhere. Can you tell us a little bit more about, maybe from a AI for EU perspective, how that is foreseen to be handled after the project finishes at the end of the year?
Okay, so far we have the platform, the AI4U platform, and this is being improved and enriched. Okay.
Platform is a very using a very general sense.
Platform is the catalog of tools, AI tools and resources, and the other thing is the experimentation service. The experimentation service is based on an existing open source initiative, which is called AI Acumos, and based on that, there is an additional layer created that enables to create workflows using tools in the catalog and also additional tools and data sets. So this exists, and this is being improved. Okay, and this is concrete. Okay.
But what will happen at the end of this year?
At the end of this year, the AI4U platform will continue to be enriched and used by the families of projects around AI4U. The research projects, the ICT4...
Those projects are seen to fund AI for EU.
They enrich the AI4U platform.
The key is the sustainability of funding.
The key is the sustainability of funding. The key is the sustainability of the platform and the extension of the platform. So we need to enrich the platform with additional tools, and this is happening through these projects. So the research projects around AI4U will have to publish their tools and resources in the AI4U platform. And this will be the case also for the projects like AI for Copernicus. Okay, we will have to publish our tools and resources there. Okay, so in this way we extend the platform, and the platform is being used by additional communities. Now, with respect to funding, so far as we know, there is not an additional funding from directly to AI4U from the Commission. This is done indirectly through these projects. What we are discussing inside AI4U is the setup of this foundation after the end of the project that will continue to exploit, that will continue to maintain the AI4U platform. And there are a lot of thoughts and discussions. We haven't finalized this so far, but certainly during the next couple of months, I suppose, this will be finalized. Sorry, I cannot say more on that because there is not something decided yet on this. Okay. We cannot hear you, Jeff. Jeff, we cannot hear you.
Yeah, thanks. I muted for that abortive call.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I know I pushed you a bit on that. We talked about it a bit before the meeting, but I mean, obviously it's a crucial question, because if people do commit to install services and packages running on the AI for EU technical platform, then you know, they don't want to do so if there's no perception that it's going to you know, survive beyond the end of the year and still be running. So that needs to be put in place quite clearly. Okay, I wonder if I can ask. You've got 3 of your partners who are sort of there for the challenges, from Richard from Equinor, and then ECMWF, and
we have Vasilis from ECMWF, we have Richard from Equinor, and Michele from SATSEN.
That's right. Sorry, I was perhaps I could just ask them for a comment on how they perceive the project. Richard, do you want to come in?
Hello, Jeff.
Hi, Richard.
Thanks for the question. No, Equinor and I see this as a very exciting project. The big challenge with satellite data and meteorological data, so it's very good to have ECMWF as a partner, is the amount of data. We're reaching a stage where individual organizations cannot download the data. So to exploit it, you need to look to the platforms. We need to understand how AI for EU will use. But we know there's great value in data, but you've got to have good questions. So for Equinor, and we're interested in, and there's a lot of crossover between the different security, agricultural, health, depending how it's worded, there's a lot of crossover between the different sectors. If you link health with pollution, that's of interest to the energy industry and understanding how our activities impact on the health of a city, for example. Mm-hmm. It's getting good answers from extreme amounts of data. So we have, from an energy perspective, we have three general broad categories. And these apply to anyone from the European Commission to the individual. First off, where can we build energy? I don't know about what it's like in other countries, but in Norway, no one likes a wind farm in their back garden.
Not just Norway.
Which is why Equinor focuses on offshore, but that's another thing. But there's always conflict. So where can we, but from a European Commission perspective, how much energy can Europe produce from renewable energy? That's an energy security question. And the next question, where is the energy demand? So that's linked to the population density questions that are popping up. You know, where is the demand for energy? Where does Europe as a continent need to, where will there be the demand for energy in the future? I always like to tell people that Facebook built their data farm in northern Sweden because there is a very low population there. There's green energy, it's hydropower, and it's cold. So and the big driver for data farms is air conditioning. So if you have if your data farm is in a cold environment, there's less demand for energy. So, and then there's the third question, and it's linked actually to looking at TopView's webpage. They're doing aerial photography of photo of solar farms. Can we use this satellite data and this and the meteorological data together to have more precision cleaning of the solar panels? So these are all the kind of, I'm bringing the challenges. These are the challenges that the innovators circulate around energy. And we're looking for solutions. And to find those solutions, we need the data, which is what AI Copernicus is giving access to. So we have the data, we have the challenge. We just need the people with the good ideas.
Okay, well, I'm sure there are plenty here who will look to come forward with some good ideas and answer some of the questions you have. That will be good.
If I may say, Jeff, adding to what Richard said, we are going to provide in the open call announcement, in the material that we will provide to the applicants, we will also provide indicative cases for each domain, like the cases presented by Richard.
Yeah.
But it's up to the applicants then to propose. Okay.
Yeah. No, I think that seems clear. So from the perspective of ECMWF, Vasilis?
Hello, this is Vasilis Baos from ECMWF. Actually, it's our participation to this project is it's important for us because we have an activity to invest and explore the benefits of machine learning and artificial intelligence in weather forecasting. And actually, in this project, we are 3 people that participating from ECMWF. It's myself, and the director of CAMS, Copernicus Atmospheric Monitoring Service, from Vincent Henrik Boch, and Peter Duben, who is actually coordinating the machine learning activities within ECMWF. It's actually AI for Copernicus encompasses many different aspects like cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and data provision that actually we have been doing this for many years now, big data and sifting data all around the world. Yeah, we have been involved in Wikio. We are actually Wikio. It's a project that is with 3 partners: Mercator Ocean, UMETSAT, and SMWF. And we have also there are some other operators from Thales, Cloudflare, and etc. And actually, we run many other projects in this concept. And actually, I don't know if you also aware about the big project that is coming up called Destination Earth, which actually it's even more data. We're going to produce more data than you can consume, and we would like to make that available to the end users. All this experience that we gather from this project is going to be used in this big project that they are for the benefit of EU citizens.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Destination Earth is certainly a subject that we should come back to. I think people are familiar with the concept, but not the well. The details are still being worked out.
I can give you some information. It's 3 agencies. It's ESA, UMETSAT, and SMWF.
Yeah. And the Commission.
And the Commission, yeah, and GRC as well.
Yeah. So no, but that's a subject for another day. Okay. Thanks. So
Jeff, can I add something again?
Come on, Vangelis, yeah. This is open discussion.
Okay. Following to what Vasilis said, SMWF is involved also in one of the other initiatives that you had mentioned, the AI for Earth Observation Challenge, which is currently running. Yeah. And actually, the first challenge is run by SMWF and has to do with health and environment. And we are in line, we are synchronized with them, the people running the AI for Earth Observation Challenge. So coordinating some networking activities, and also we try to find the right way to exploit the outcomes of these challenges in the AI4Copernicus open calls. We haven't finalized this, but I'm sure we will find the right way to do this.
Okay. Stefan's here, and I'm sure he'll add to that in just a moment. But firstly, let me continue my the rounds and ask from the perspective of SatCen, Michaela. There's been a lot of activity from SatCen around AI and big data in different projects. So, what are you looking specifically from AI for Copernicus?
Yeah, it did. Actually, with the Democritus, we started in 2015 with Big Data Europe, and this project is a sort of continuation of activity we started there, and it's actually very exciting because security is a growing domain, and Richard will say something about the connection with energy. There are a lot of connections going on also with climate. Climate security nexus is quite widely cited also in some commission documents. Also, if you think about the pandemic and disaster resilience, so it's really a sort of cross-domain. And it's very interesting for us also because we started to work with a lot with Sentinel's data, which are sensors that not really designed for security, but we found some nice application that can have there are a lot of they're helpful for security. And the idea is actually to facilitate the use of Sentinel data for security. As Vangelis and Xenia said before, we will provide some services built on top of Sentinel data, like for create analysis ready data, to facilitate the bidders to create some application on top of it. And again, we're now in the process of provide a sort of requirements of what you would like to see. We can anticipate you would like to see something related to the identification of feature of interest for security, the integration between different data sources, for instance, geolocation data or climate data. So soon we will release more information about the calls, and I think it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, okay. So the 3 of you plus Trento will be shaping the calls and putting some of the questions that you're looking to get answered. Stefan, you keep appearing and disappearing. If you're there at the moment, do you want to make a comment coming from AI for EO?
No, I never disappeared. In fact, my Zoom on my computer froze and I had to join from my telephone while having still the audio from the computer. It was a bit complicated. No, not really. The picture, you said in the beginning, the picture is very blurred or very complicated. Well, I think ESA has its own projects, AI4EO being one of them, and my colleague Anne-Catherine leading this. There's 3 projects funded by DG DEFIS under Space Call. There's one funded by DG Connect under their own AI things. There's national projects, such as the AI for Geo, which is funded under the Recovery Fund, etc., French side. There are many others. Indeed, I think the challenge and what is required, and that's what we're trying to do, or at least doing our bit in AI4EO, is to structure a bit the community as a decentralized community by definition, but to structure the community. And I really do appreciate these EOcafes and listening to all these things, because we need to get a good picture about, to animate the community, you need to have a good view of who are the members of this community and what the different levels of technical specialization, for instance, are. But no particular comment. I mean, we've had already discussions with AI for Copernicus. We do intend to cooperate closely, and as well as with any other project involved that in this area that would be interested.
Okay, that's great. So I mean, we're coming to the end of our time. Vangelis, do you want to sum up a little bit from your perspective?
Yeah, okay. I just want to remind the keywords for AI for Copernicus. So AI for you, the platform, DIAS platforms, bring them together, and open calls. And there is funding.
Nice.
And funding for companies like the companies in RSC. Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah. We hear you.
Yeah.
No, I was just somebody left their microphone on, so just muting them.
Yeah. So, and we will have as Xenia said, we will have the announcement of the first open call end of June, beginning of July, end of September, the deadline, evaluation October, November, and January, the 6 first projects will start. Up to 150,000 euros per project, plus the additional services mentioned by Xenia.
The support,
the support. Yeah.
I think that's very clear, and I imagine there will be a lot of interest in the activity. There's a lot of, as Emmanuel said, a lot of networking that can be done around this, and a lot of team building. So I think it's good. Stefan, I still think there's there's a lot of these initiatives. It's not quite clear where the boundaries are and who's doing what, but we try to help clarify that, shine some light on it, and I think we'll continue to do so. I look for feedback from people, not now, but over the next few weeks, maybe few days, as to whether we should come back to this subject again, or whether we should, whether there are further elements to it that we should explore.
If I may, as apart from running this project, we're also, as you know, management consultants and innovation management experts. We will try to contribute to some kind of, we have a task in our project with ESA about stakeholder mapping and making sure we understand the ecosystem, and we can shed some light. So we will try to do a little bit of a small mapping exercise and possibly share it for the community? See if it brings a clearer picture to you, Jeff.
So that may be a time to revisit the subject. We can talk about that offline.
Okay.
So thanks everyone for participating. Thanks to our invited guests, Vangelis and Zena. I think it's been an interesting discussion. I've certainly enjoyed it. We'll try to write up something from it in the next few days. Normally we're taking about 5 to 7 days to get out a report on the meeting. The next EOcafe will be in 2 weeks' time. We have it will be on the subject. We come back to the subject of the Green Deal. We said that we come back to that, and I think that is another subject where we'll need to have further EOcafes. Next time, or the next EOcafe, we're going to talk about the research and innovation perspective. That should be, I think, quite a good discussion around the Green Deal and the role of Earth observation. So I certainly commend that to everybody. I'm asked again to give the reminder that tomorrow is the deadline for anybody who wants to become an evangelist, an Earth observation evangelist linked to the FIRE program. And the FIRE forum will take place. I was expecting the next slide to appear. Will take place in June alongside Expandio. Natasha, are you listening? The slides blocked? Okay. So Expandio in the, if I think I'm right, 16th, 17th of June, but I may have got those dates wrong. Looks like Natasha's
I think these are the days. I think these are the days. As I remember from you saying.
Yeah. But I was fully expecting a slide to come up. Natasha's there. Oh, she's got it working again. So there we are, Expandio, where the market meets. So please make sure that's in your diary. It's going to be a very intensive couple of days with a lot of meetings, a lot of interesting topics to discuss, including there we will come back to AI again. So there we have said we'll have a session around AI in Expandio. And just to close off by saying thank you all very much for participating. We enjoy putting these on. We hope you enjoy joining them. We had over 200 registrants this time, so we take that as a good sign. And we're looking forward to many more EOcafes. As usual, we'll keep the line open. If anyone wants to just participate in a completely unstructured exchange, they're very welcome. But otherwise, I close the EOcafe at this point. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.